Well, it's time to say goodbye to WWE 2K23. I didn't play it as much as 2K22, but I still made 32 original wrestlers in it. And in this video, I want to show you all of the baby faces I made for 2K23, and I'll probably make a 2K24. Let's get into it. Alright, so here is every character I made babyface. There's going to be another video of heels, because otherwise this video would be like half hour long. Anyway, let's get into this. Alright, so first character, Zack Ryder. In my little universe I made up in my head, I've been adding on to it since I was a kid. I should just make my own wrestling game. I have all these characters I made. This is the son of the main character, Clint Griffin. So the guy you see in every opening of every video. He's supposed to be a high flyer. Now, when you're making the characters, you have all the different materials mixed together. It looks a lot better, but when it's in the ring, for some reason, it gets all fuzzy. But anyway, he's supposed to be the high flyer of the group. Now, the next up is Z, the very first wrestler I ever made in a wrestling game. I always made some big blue guy. I'm like, oh, cool, you can make him blue. You can give him blue hair, and all sorts of crazy stuff. So ever since then, I've been making him in every single game. I made him before I even invented Strizer, so technically the channel should be called ZTube Wrestling, but you guys be like, what? I don't know, Strizer's, we'll get to that. So anyway, Z is, like I said, I make him every year. He's the first creation I ever made. One of my favorites. He changes a little bit each year. He's supposed to be an alien from an ice planet. I don't know. I kind of go crazy with my creations. I don't like just making normal normal wrestlers. If you like that sort of thing, that's cool. No hate. But for me, I always like going to the comic book route and just stuff like that. It's more fun for me. Just see what I can come up with the limitations of the creation suite. So every time I see new parts, I'm like, ooh, because then I can make something new. So there's my high flyer down there, Zach, and Z. Next up is Vigilante Justin. This is based off of my longest childhood friend. I've known him since I was about 4 years old. I've known him my whole life. He's kind of like my little brother from another mother, if you will. He one of his favorite games is Red Dead Redemption 2, and he's the one who got me into wrestling. Like, I wasn't really big into wrestling until he got me into it. He's the one who got me into the games. I went over to his house and I played, what was it? The very first SmackDown game. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You can create wrestlers and do all this stuff. And then we were supposed to go start wrestling, together, like in WWE, but then he saw a movie called Fast and the Furious. And then he became a mechanic and he went a whole different route and totally stopped watching wrestling altogether. So he doesn't watch wrestling anymore, but I still do. So shout outs to my buddy. And now, the main character of the channel, Clint Griffin. Now, Clint Griffin is a gimmick that I always wanted to do in real wrestling. I just didn't get that far. Like, I always wanted to just try to be like a calm Ultimate Warrior, but insane in the ring. Like during my promos, I'm normal and stuff like that, but when I'm in the ring, I go nuts. Kind of like Ultimate Warrior would do. So I was trying to combine the two. So basically like Sting and Ultimate Warrior. And as the making of this video, Sting's last match is supposed to be later on tonight. So this video will probably take forever to upload, so it'll probably go live during that. But anyway, yeah, Strizer has changed over the years. He used to have Goku hair. He's had short hair. Once I found out the Mohawk and how cool it looked, I just started doing the Mohawk. I think the Mohawk's cool. I've always wanted a Mohawk in real life, but I'm kind of balding, so that'll never happen. But yeah, Clint Griffin. Now, Mega Man X is my favorite video game that's not a wrestling game of all time. I've beaten that thing probably 100 times over the year. I've played it on every system it's released. So I had to make my own version of Mega Man in my universe, and I just called him Man Mega. I gave him Ricochet's entrance, and I thought he turned out pretty cool. I was just goofing around. I was messing around to create a superstar, if you will, create a wrestler. And I didn't make him until 2K20, because all these parts are from 2K20. I always tried to make Mega Man, but they always look goofy if you try to, like, go one-to-one, or make him really skinny. And So I tried to just make a wrestling version of Mega Man. And instead of a Mega Buster, he has like wrestling gauntlets. I always thought that'd be a cool gimmick. Like Mega Man Wrestling. If they made a Mega Man Wrestling game, I would lose my freaking mind because they have enough characters to do it. That'd be freaking awesome. So Man Mega. Now remember him because he has a counterpart also. Yeah, I liked him. He turned out really good in this game. Now Polar Claw. Polar Claw is based off of one of my favorite Transformers from, Robots in Disguise. That he never really made it in the cartoon, but he was in the comic books. And it's Polar Claw. He's a freaking polar bear, and it was awesome. So that's where the name comes from. But I always just thought like it'd be cool to have like this Eskimo he's like he got frozen to death or something, and he has the powers of a polar bear, right? Since you can't make Kuma from Tekken, I kind of tried to make my own and came up with Polar Claw. So he's supposed to be an Eskimo, and I think he turned out pretty cool, so I really like how he turned out this year. And then, of course, my one and only real-life gimmick, Clint Griffin. I was trying to be a 80s workout guy gimmick, and it got over pretty good. I had a tag team partner and everything. I got injured before we won the tag belts, so I never got to win the tag belts. We were pretty close to doing it. That would have been awesome. But yeah, this is my one and only gimmick. And yes, I am absolutely that buff. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ripped like that. Yeah. Yeah, the whole gimmick was just the bicep. Everything was done with the biceps. The whole gimmick was built around that. Eventually, I'm going to do story time on this channel about my time in the ring and all that stuff. I just haven't got around to it with all the news coming out for the game. When stuff kind of starts to calm down, we'll get to it. Now, this is my buddy. He kind of helped me out a lot during the early days of the channel. Shoutouts to Ryan, if you're watching this, buddy. We had a joke that he was Mick Foley's kid, so I made him Ryan Foley. So that's why he's so hairy. I don't know why I went with the Texas theme. It was supposed to be like a cyberpunk Texas dude, and that's just what I came up with. I thought it looked pretty cool. That's why he had so much hair, because Mick Foley's kind of a hairy guy. The beard, hair, hairy arms. But yeah, so in my universe, he's Mick Foley's son. So. Yeah, I like how he turned out. I think he turned out cool. I like all my characters. There's a couple I kind of wish I did better, but I like most of them. Now off to the ladies. Now I was trying to come up with a world champion powerlifter. And so this is what I came up with. Trying to build up my women's roster because I was trying to make an all-female cast. And I don't know, she turned out a lot better in the last game. She had like cool skeleton face paint. I don't know. She just didn't turn out that good in this game. So this is one of the ones where I kind of wish I did better. I was gonna get back to and redo her. Usually when I make a character, if I don't like it, I redo it, and then I end up liking it. I just never got around to it because I lost interest in the game. You'll see why after you see the last couple characters. Like I made 30 of them. All right, well, who's next? Zdna. Now this is the female version basically of Z. I gave all my characters like female counterparts, if you will. Well, most of them anyway. So she is from like the same planet, all that stuff. Zdna. I like messing around with the color schemes. I love that you can change the skin color. That's so cool because you can do crazy stuff like this. I really liked how she turned out this year. Again, they're from an ice planet and stuff like that. I'd love to go into all of this, my backstory and all that stuff. I have it all written out. Just got to take the time to do it. But yeah, she turned out really cool this year, so I wonder what I'll come up with the next game. Now, if you remember Man Mega, an original Mega Man, rock and roll, right? Roll, so I named her Tumble. So, get it? Haha. So I made a basically Roll for Mega Man and called her Tumble. So this is the sister of Man Mega in my universe. They're both robots, both robot wrestlers. I thought she turned out really good in this one. She didn't look that great in the last game. I really like how she turned out in this one. She turned out really good. And then Cindy Rose. I wanted to make like a pirate chick, and since they had the cool Kairi Sane hope I'm saying that right. I got blasted for that last time. Entrance with the cool, what is that called? The friggin' wheel that you steer the ship with. I'm like, gee, there we go. The whole thing was created because of that wheel being in the game. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a pirate chick. I think she turned out pretty cool. She changed like 5 times. I suck at making faces, if you haven't noticed. There's a lot of them. The reason why they all have like stuff on their face is because I just use the base faces and then just add stuff to it, because I'm terrible at manipulating the face. And even though they have that face app where you can put faces in it, I can't figure out for the life of me. They're always like eyeballs here, or it just doesn't look right, skin tones off. I just can't get to work right. Like, if you're really good at that, send off the comments below, and I might hire you to help me with the faces in the next game, because I suck at it. Yeah, I think hers is the longest entrance of all of these. But yeah, I really like her, the way she turned out. The color scheme blends together pretty well. I wish you could wear the hat during the match. Like, I know in some stuff you can leave on, but I don't know, why not? Just have the hat stay on there when you get punched. It goes flying. Now, Grace Fell. Little hip-hop gal I made. Based off one of my closest friends I used to work with. She was really funny. Great friend to work with. And that was back... Yeah, that wasn't too long ago. Like, she would never swear, right? She would never swear. And one day we were having a really rough day. It took all 3 of us to like move this gondola thing. When we were finally done, she was like, you know, I've never heard her use the F word before. And we're like, what? It was hilarious. All right, Jessica Streiser. This is the daughter of both Maya and Clint Streiser, just like Zack is the son. I've been playing these games so long, I gave my characters kids, right? So, yeah, this is Jessica Streiser. I felt like the Sasha Banks entrance was kind of fitting, because she's like, I'm royalty, because in my universe, the Streisers are the biggest family in wrestling. I have a story synopsis, but I wanna play 2K24 first before I take the time to really build this universe, because if universe mode is totally crap again, I probably won't do it. Because I've been trying to do it for 3 games, and the universe mode just, nah. Laura Bell. I wanted to make like a fun, loving Texas chick, like, or country gal, if you will. I shouldn't say chick. People might get offended by that, but lady. Country lady. And I was just going through the entrances, and I really like this one. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Because I have the country music going on. You can't hear the music during this video, because I just have background music, and it blocks out the music in the game, because it's probably copyrighted anyway. But yeah, I think she turned out really well this year. She looks a lot better than the one last year. So, yeah, I think it's called Hot Mess is what that entrance is called. Anyway, I thought it was funny. And of course, the main female of my entire roster, Maya Streiser. You see her and the other character in the opening and ending of almost every video I make. I made her and Clint Streiser in the very first wrestling games also, along with Z, but Z was the first one. So, like, I wanted to have a female character, even though I think there was like 4 women to fight. So, didn't really use her at all. Pause, right? I didn't really use her at all until it started getting to the point where the ladies had their own storyline, which I think was 2K20. And even in, like, oh man, in 2K15, they took out to create a women's superstar altogether. Like, they gutted the game. So they kind of got the shaft, even though I believe in that. No, 2K20 was the one where they had the women's showcase. So that was pretty cool. So there you have it. There are all the baby faces for my 2K23, and I make most of these every year. There's a couple new ones. I'm trying to remember who they were. Well, sound them off in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Let me know who's your favorite. And if you hate them, that's fine. I love them all. They're my characters. So whatever. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty. I can't wait to play 2K24.
Delicious!